Good morning. It is 61 degrees outside, sunshiny, not a cloud in the sky. Go figure. It's only supposed to be up to 71 degrees. Ask me why I'm dressed more fall-y than ever. It's because the plant does not turn the heat on. They still have the air conditioning going because Indian summer's going to be coming. If they turn the heat on, they think we'll all die. And if we're cold, their belief is we will work faster to keep warm. My muscles contract. My muscles are like, I'm freezing. There ain't no doing nothing. But that's just me. So that's why I have sweats on, a thermal, look at this, a thermal shirt, there you go, waffle shirt, and a thermal vest, scarf around the neck. Ladybug decided to go back in the house. I guess she's done. So Jack is already out and about. It's my understanding he's going to get another vehicle. I have no words. Really, I have no words. I don't know. 2 people, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vehicles. Does this make it make sense? I have no words. But it is now, what time is it? Yikes. It's 10:05, so I have to get rolling, throw on some kind of mascara so my eyes look like I have eyes. And today is, I've got super amount of strength. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's day number 3 of the fast. This is when the excitement builds inside of me. This is when I feel like I want to kick butt and take names in more ways than one. So it might be good if it's cold in the plant because I'll be hyped up, super prepared to work, super energetic, like the ever-ready bunny, except without the pink. I don't do pink. Pink's not my thing. Some people do pink well. Amy, I'm talking to you. You do pink well. Me, not so much. Okay, get the car going. I will see you in the car on the road headed to work. We got stuff to talk about. Well, here I am, all dressed up and someplace to go. And that someplace is work. It rained last night. As a matter of fact, it rained. I went to church on Saturday night, remember? And I got the car washed while I was in Eau Claire. Got the car washed. It was just beautiful. Wiped everything down, detailed to the 9s. And then Sunday morning, it rained. Yes, you see my husband's vehicle in the back behind me. So I'm being very careful. I am the worst backer-upper in the world. But I have a camera. And that doesn't help when you get in a vehicle that doesn't have a camera. If you know, you know. So, what are we going to talk about going to work? First off, last week when I was at PT, and all the craziness that I do in these last couple weeks, seriously crazy. We'll talk about my phone call with my sister shortly. But I went to the hardware store to buy a 3-way bulb. And a standard, I think it's Sylvania, 3-way bulb is $18.99. When did these prices go insanely high? I remember when they used to be $7. And I would say, what? I can buy a bulb for 99 cents? Normal bulb? And now I'm paying $7.99? I should have stocked up on those $7.99 ones, but that's how I roll. When I see that there's a good deal, I stock up. I buy a lot of them. So much to the point that I bought the can lights for our basement. The ones that look pretty in the ceiling. I bought a case of those, and Jack said, "What are we going to do with a case of these?" I said, "Use them." We have can lights on the main level. We have can lights in the basement, in the guest area, etc. We will use them. So last month, he used them, which is a good thing. Now I'm out. Now I can only imagine how much those canned recessed lights cost, if you know what I mean. What I ended up doing was buying the energy conserving, because I'm looking at it this way. They're for the guest rooms, the 3-way bulbs. I will spend the $19, $20 for our living room light that goes on with Alexa. I had to spell it in case you all have one of those. And she turns it on from dawn, and she will remotely turn it off. But typically what we do is tell her to turn it off at the end of the night. So I like that. Now that one is a 3-way bulb, and that I'll turn all the way up to 100. It's just in the corner. Jack has a Alexa light next to his chair and the computer that he uses that's remotely operated with the voice. Also, what he does is he touches it on. It has the blue light capability and very bright capability. He uses the whatever he touches on capability. So I would be more apt to blue light because, well, if you know, you know, blue light. That's the end of that rant. Oh, I take that back. The reason I brought up the rant was coupon for the hardware store. I used a coupon. $5 is $5. And Jack just got one because his birthday is coming up in September. I'm going to use his $5 off for the bulbs I had to order. The shelf, they only had 2 available. You'd think they'd stock up, especially because the Sylvania ones are $19. You'd think they'd stock up on the cheapos. No, they don't. So she said, well, we'll have to order them for you. I said, order me 2 more for the guest rooms. I'm going to use that $5 off when I go and retrieve them. Tomorrow's the big colonoscopy. Woo! If you haven't figured it out yet, super hyper energy, day 3, it's just this way when I fast. It gets progressively, for lack of a better word, crazier for me as the calendar clicks by. So when I do my 40-day fasting, whoa, the holidays, hello, I will send me all your packages. I will wrap everything in a, whoa, there's a dead critter in the road. Ooh, raccoon. Well, at least somebody else got it this time and I didn't kill a squirrel. I will wrap every package with speed and precision because that's how I roll. What was I talking about? Oh, my Lanta. Oh, the fasting aspect feels fantastic. I already made my, as I call it, and somebody's gonna comment below, poop juice, hashtag poop juice. I made that, put it in the refrigerator, shook it up, so when I get home tonight at 7 o'clock, down the hatch, I do not have a time yet for my surgery. I don't know, but at 7 o'clock, I'll be busy. I will probably be editing this video, putting it up and out there, and drinking poop juice at the same time while in the bathroom. That just gave you a nasty visual, didn't it? Oh, my Lanta. Okay, I wanted to talk about the telephone call I had with my sister yesterday on the way home. I had told her that typically, because I don't eat, less in my system, less out of my system. They want you to drink a gallon of the poop juice. I say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm drinking half of it because I haven't eaten since Saturday at 11:30. My steak while watching Big Brother on the DVR. And that's just my mentality. So I told her, she said that, no, she doesn't fast. She's almost to the point of type 2 diabetes, and she takes 3 medications for diabetes from her doctor. She injects herself once a week with that, I don't know, Monjero. I don't even have a clue. One of those injections that are on TV with the happy fat people dancing in the street talking about the medication. Enough said. I saw a little blurb, and I can't speak about it because I don't know enough about it. However, I saw a little snippet of a video. I don't know if it's AI generated or if it's real, where President Trump was saying that he was taking the fat shot. I don't know. I want to believe he's not doing it because I hope he has common sense and his doctors have common sense to not put that in the system, but that's just me. So I said to her that she was taking the 3 meds and her doctor got rid of one of the meds, whereby as opposed to taking two of the pills, she's now down to 1 pill. So I think she still takes the 3 prescriptions. Simple math, because I need simple math. You guys know I'm bad with math. Not a good math person at all. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? I'm wearing real lipstick today, not lip dye or lip stain, so this could be messy. So my discussion with my sister was the last 2 past weekends, I had to devote balls to the walls, head to the computer, read, study, do tests, do essays for my carnivore coaching, and in which I have finally caught up by the grace of God. Thank you, Lord. So I had told her that I intended to do that so that I could be off this next upcoming Labor Day weekend to be with her. Drive down. She lives 20-30 minutes north of Madison. Drive down and spend the holiday with her. That's good. And she had made the comment about me gaslighting her because I said, don't you remember this, that, and the other? So I want to spend as much time with my sister as I possibly can. Number one, she's the last sister that I have that I get along with. I don't pull any punches. That I want to spend the time with, but it makes me sad if she's having early signs of Alzheimer's or dementia. It makes me very sad. I wish she'd change her diet. She said to me, meaning her, she said, I cannot do extended fasting for a period because, and she used her diabetes as a point of reference, which I can understand, and I'm not going to dispute with her, but she used the word gaslighting to me because I had to remind her about a fact. And then I tell her that, us, we, all of us, you out there are in control of what you put into your system to either get an insulin response or not an insulin response. Yesterday, different subject again. I have so much time before I have to get to work because I have to be there at 11 o'clock today. Yesterday, I had my teleconference from the blood test that I did last week with the cancer doctor. I'm very proactive. If you know that my mother had passed away from colon cancer, you understand I am obsessed with fighting with all my might cancer. And I think, the stupid girl I was years ago, eating all the garbage. This is my opinion. This is not a health channel, and I'm not certified yet to coach people about the carnivore diet, the proper human diet, the way of eating that makes me feel good and doesn't spike my blood sugars, etc., etc. So when I had the phone conference with the cancer doctor about my blood tests, everything was good. I'm debating whether or not to put it. I'll probably put it in this video. Yes, I will. I'll put it in the video. And I'll put it after this segment. Let's call it a filler. Because it was one of those while I was on the Zoom call. I couldn't Zoom with her on my computer. I don't know. I'm not as technologically savvy as Amy and Dustin is. And I defer to them when it comes to help with the computer. So I did one of those screen captures, and I asked her about, and I'm just going to give you general numbers. I asked her to give me the last results from my blood glucose levels. So she told me what they were from, I don't know, 5 years ago, whatever the case may be. They were 130, and then the next year they were 129, 125, 123. Progressively, they've gotten down, and you'll hear that in the recording. So that's a good thing. That just serves to me as definite proof that what I'm doing is working. It's working fabulous for me because I have been sticking to the carnivore diet. Yes, I have the exception of the occasional pickle or olive or two. Fermented foods, rare, but that's my carnivore cheat. That I just love the carnivore diet and what it does for me, my functions, obviously my body, clearly my blood sugars, it's helping. And I just kick myself for all those years of sugar and the abuse that I caused myself. My sister asked me what my weight was at my wedding. I don't know. If I think about it, I'll put the picture down below if I think about it. But I was huge. I believe I was rocking the scales at, if not 300 pounds, just under 300. And I got a heck of a deal. My wedding dress was humongous. I got a heck of a deal because, let's be frank, not a lot of brides are fat brides like I was. And brides, generally speaking, watch their weights, maintain their calories, try to lose weight before getting into a wedding dress. With the exception of me and Kelly Hogan. That's not a diss towards Kelly Hogan, it's a fact. She was a heavy bride, I was a heavy bride. I'm not dissing any heavy brides out there because I was there. Been there, done that. But I have that memory for the rest of our lives to look back at the fat bride that I was. And don't get me wrong, Jack was a fat groom too. We both smoked, we drank, we weren't drunks, not to that point, but carbs and cooking, all the things, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, she had mentioned that she wanted to do some things, and when she mentioned the word gaslighting to me, she said, and I could hear in her voice was cracking. She says, "You're trying to gaslight me. My mind is so full and so busy, and I have a lot of things on my mind." Me doing this simple, very simple carnivore way of eating the less on my mind. I don't worry like back in the day. I don't. I really don't. I believe everything happens for God's plan, not mine. It will just need to be revealed to me in due time. Boy, I hope I have time to be able to continue this video during my lunch today. I'm not eating. Speaking of not eating, I'm drinking yerba mate tea. I call it the Victor cocktail. Yerba mate tea with L-theanine, a scoop of that, and 75 milligrams, I think, a sapper full of the bitter apple, bitter something, whatever, in here. I find it to be refreshing. You can't tell me, myself, Jerry Griggs, you cannot tell me that it curbs my appetite, because what curbs my appetite is this. My mind curbs my appetite. Either during a 3-day or a 4-day fast, a 5-day fast, we're going to be doing with the Dr. Kiltz group. I have to watch for traffic. Next month, is it next month? September, October. We're going to be doing a 5-day fast. I look forward to those fasts. I really do. I love this feeling. So I'm not eating. I have to drink. I'm not eating anything during lunch. I will be drinking something. Iced something. Water. I have some lemon salt from LMNT. A package came last week. I didn't expect it. Apparently, I ordered it advance order because everybody was oohing and eyeing about it, and it came. So I have to drink that. Oh, you guys, I forgot to tell you, I woke up with the worst, in my opinion. It was awful headache today. Terrible. I woke up, I had to get out this new LMNT. I took and concentrated the watermelon. Did that to no avail. Nothing happened. I drank electrolyte drops straight out of the bottle, put it in the straw. Nothing happened. By the time I finally came out of bed, I made myself 1 cup of coffee, because even when I fast, I do 1 coffee. 1 12-ounce coffee, that's enough for me. And clearly you hear me rambling on and on. You're thinking, oh yeah, that's enough for her. But I wanted to get rid of this stupid headache. So today what I brought along with me is, here we go, if you can see that, you can see it, fasting drops. If I experience that awful headache again, I am going to be pounding those fasting drops at work. A couple weeks ago, they had this on top of the water machine. You guys will love this. Electrolyte pills. Not that my employer's being a drug pusher, because they're not. They're simple electrolyte pills. Because I'm driving, and I know you're yelling at me right now. I hear you. Here's the ingredient list, if you can see that. I don't know. It's basic electrolytes. Calls at the front. Instant electrolytes. That's it. Yeah, instant. So we've got that. If the headache comes back, God help me, I hope it doesn't. I also put in my pocket to be able to share with you, because I'm that type of person. Let's share all my woes. This is what was attached to that gallon jug that the pharmacy gives you. The pharmacy, I paid $19 for this gallon jug. They don't want you to have anything red. Obviously, on the bottle it says don't eat anything 4 hours 4 hours prior to drinking this stuff. But I haven't eaten anything since Saturday. So, less in, less out. I am not using this garbage. It's supposed to be a flavor pack. Come on. Throw that crap away. I'm not drinking it. I pre-mixed the water with Crystal Light lemonade. Yes, I know what the ingredients are in Crystal Light. The juice tastes disgusting in itself. 64 ounces of ice cold water are waiting for me when I get home at 7 o'clock, and you know I'm excited about taking that. Backing up right now, I'm at work. You know I'm excited about taking that, but I'm not going to drink that disgusting juice. I'm backing up. All right. I'm back far enough. So I'm here. Let me finish the rest of my yerba mate. Not that I need any more caffeine to be hyped up on. I'm thinking I'll be back at 5 o'clock. I'll do my lunch at 5 because I'm here until 7. So, not looking forward to stepping into the refrigerator box known as my job. But I will see you at 5 o'clock, or at least I hope to. Yeah, yes. There, now I see you.
Okay. Okay. So let's see what we got. We last spoke, it was a year ago, and any changes in terms of your health in that time?
Other than I had a left hip total replacement, that's it.
I saw that.
I had a back done before, so this is just a different part of the body, that's all.
How'd it go? I saw you had some rehab, some therapy for that.
Yep,
Did
still
everything
going.
go well?
Yeah, still going through the therapy. They say I'm doing well. I think I should be progressing better, but that's because I'm the patient, I'm sure.
And you're doing this from your home, right? You go on an outpatient basis. You didn't do any inpatient rehab?
No,
Yeah.
inpatient was when I was there in the hospital.
Okay, perfect. And any recent infections or illnesses?
No, I don't think so.
And no complications with the hip replacement, like blood clots, nothing of that ilk?
Well, they're determining that right now. There was a bit of a problem. My husband wouldn't put my stocking on me, so they're evaluating for blood clot problems.
All right. So I see you had some x-rays of the hip and pelvis. That was May, June. Usually they do an ultrasound for that kind of a thing. Is that coming up or?
After I'm done with you, I have a phone call to
Oh,
schedule that. Yeah,
okay.
there's some bruising that's going on there, and to the touch, it's painful.
I'm sorry to hear that. Um, all right. Any other changes in your health?
Oh, nope. Colonoscopy
Okay.
on Wednesday, so
Okay, that's
yay.
good. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you are staying on top of that. Is this just a routine screening, I hope, or are you having any problems?
No, they want me to have them done every year because my mother died from colon cancer, so
Okay. Wow, annual. That's something. Good. I'm glad that you're very, very glad that you're pursuing that. So let's take a look at your blood work.
okay, good.
Pull this up, and then we'll do our little share of this. And hopefully you can see it now.
I can.
And since this is from 3 days ago, chances are you've already seen these results, but maybe not.
I tried
Um,
to look them up, but I was not successful
oh, really?
on Friday.
Okay.
And
Well,
this weekend I didn't.
okay. And quite frankly, not everything is back yet, but we'll look at what we have.
Okay.
And so the first order of business here is let me just go here. So, okay. This is your complete blood count. It is not targeted specifically at the issue that we're following, which is that abnormal protein number. But again, the reason we're watching the abnormal proteins is because we know that on the far end of kind of the spectrum of possibilities is something called multiple myeloma, which is a cancer of the immune system. And if that happens, there are very specific things that we expect to see. And that includes, in fact, it's a diagnostic criteria. Anemia is a hallmark of that. So if, for example, what you have, which is a little elevation of your proteins, was to transition to something more ominous, we would expect to see a drop in your red blood cells because these plasma cells would be taking up too much room in your bone marrow. Your red blood cells look fantastic. Your platelet count is excellent. And so is your white blood cell count and all the different white blood cell types. So this is perfect as it was a year ago, not concerning at all. Any questions about this? And if the fact that your hematocrit is a little bit lower than it was a year ago, I would attribute that to your hip surgery for sure.
Okay.
And then if we look to your chemistry profile, again, if we're looking at this through the lens of has anything changed for the worse um, in the for what we are following you for, the things that we would be looking for is an elevated calcium. We know that calcium can certainly rise because that condition, if there's really a switch to myeloma, for example, it typically invades the bones and then calcium is released. Nope, that looks good. Your total protein value here is 7.1, which we would expect to see quite high if there was something different. This is not only normal, but really stable over time, and this time being a couple years. Albumin, this is the protein that we really need to have. It reflects to some extent our nutritional status, and it's important in all our cells. So if this were to be progressing to say myeloma, we would expect the total protein level to soar to be, say, 9, 10, and the good protein to go the opposite direction, to go way down. So then it opens up this space where all the bad proteins are. And we don't see that. This is just as it has been. And with very slight variations, but it's stable. So
Okay.
and also kidney function. We expect kidney function to worsen because if you have large protein cells that are being, released and circulating in the blood, they have to leave the body through the kidneys and then they can damage those little microtubules where all the filtration goes on. So there is a tiny dip if you want to say 89 to greater than 90 is a dip. I mean, you still have excellent kidney function. So this is not the kind of change we're talking about. And again, this is most likely driven by your surgery and all that you have been through. So in short, from a myeloma standpoint, again, or an MGUS, monoclonal gammopathy, just the elevated proteins for reasons we were not quite sure of, this chemistry profile is good. Your potassium and your sodium are good. Your acid-base balance is just fine. The fact that this is red, it's off by 1 point. This is, we interact with the environment and these little changes happen, just like here, your chloride level was up a little bit and then it self-corrects. I'm not concerned about that at all. Blood urea nitrogen typically has been on the upper end in your case. Again, what does that mean? It means you're a tiny bit dehydrated. You probably could stand to drink a bit more. And then we get down here. These last 4 values are your liver enzymes, although alkaline phosphatase also is released from bone. So one could certainly speculate that this little elevation in your alkaline phosphatase comes from your bones as a consequence of having had a recent total hip replacement.
Hmm.
So this is all good. And then we go to your monoclonal protein studies. And this is just a preliminary. So we're still going to have to wait to see. There's going to be all these other proteins that are measured, and most importantly, something called an M spike. So the fact that your kappa-free light chains are somewhat elevated, and even though upper limits is roughly 2 and you're at 4, that is still objectively a low value. That is still a low value when we look at any kind of pathology. This is part of our immune system. These numbers go up for any number of different reasons. And again, having just had a surgery, I expect that that could be part of your sort of immune/inflammatory response. Um, your free light chain ratio remains stable from a year ago. And so I would like to see the rest of the proteins and if there is an M spike. That is an important finding. And also, this could be immune system based. That M spike tends not to be. So, this is easier to explain away. If there is an M spike that is, say, higher than it was last year, then that would be something that, we might want to recheck sooner than in a year. It still would not be cause for great alarm. Everything here looks, quite reassuring overall. Do you have any questions about the labs?
No, none. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so I will stop the share, and here you are again. Otherwise, any problems, questions, concerns? I mean, I think that we've probably talked about it. It's a condition. It's a condition that does not typically turn into anything, but in a very small percentage of people it can. And that's why we do the surveillance. And so I just kind of like to explain the labs through that filter, even though it is very unlikely that you will reach that point.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I will at this point just request, do you like doing video visits? I do not know where you live, but maybe it's far away, maybe it's down the street, but do you
Uh,
prefer to do it this way?
this is fine. The last time I think we did a telephone conference last time.
Okay.
You guys are in Menominee, so this saves me a lot of gas and time. So I appreciate these visits.
Sure. I think it's fantastic. And it's nice to see people.
Hmm.
The fact that we did it by phone to explain why I don't quite recognize your face to look at, but it's always, I mean, I prefer video when possible too.
Right.
So and it allows me to actually show you the blood work and go through that. And hopefully that's helpful to some extent.
Yeah, good.
So
It was so tiny trying to read it. I know I can go through
oh,
the
are you on your phone?
right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
I couldn't get it up on the computer for whatever reason. It wasn't possible. So that's why I'm on the
Okay.
phone, but I know I can go into the mail portal and be able to see that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know what to tell you. There are people who are supposed to like connect you with the Zoom calls and stuff, and maybe they would be helpful. But again, how helpful is it when they get in touch with you minutes before your visit, right? Like
Yeah,
there's no time for a
absolutely.
tutorial then. So,
Right.
all right. Well,
I I did do the test on the computer and everything seemed to be fine until the time was to do the Zoom call, and then it was all wonky.
oh, I'm sorry.
Ah, it is what it is. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I should try doing a Zoom meeting for one of my personal visits and see what that feels like from the other end. All right. Well, it's nice to see you. I think, I find your labs to be very reassuring. And I hope that you have a smooth recovery from your surgery. And when we talk next year, that things look much as they still do now. But you know where to find us. If and for what would you find us? If you have any changes, fatigue, night sweats, lymph nodes, anything that,
Mhm.
loss of appetite. You're like, I think I would just like to have my blood checked to make sure that everything is okay. That is, I have a super low threshold for doing that because it gives us a lot of information, at a pretty low cost overall. So
Mhm.
don't hesitate to do that. And otherwise it should pop up on your portal in about 6 months or so when your visit should be, because they can only schedule 6 months out, okay?
Excellent. Now, it doesn't show anything about my blood sugar levels on your report, does it?
It does. It does. The chemistry profile should have your blood glucose. I think it was normal.
What? Whoa,
Were you
what am
were
I?
you fasting when you had this
No,
done?
no, because I called them that morning as I was concerned if they wanted me to fast it or not, and they said no, no need to fast.
Yeah, we don't need that because your blood sugar is just sort of incidental. It was 94,
Okay,
which is great. The range is 70 to 140.
good.
So 94 is very nice. A year or 4 months ago, it was 95. Last August, it was 105. And prior to that, 108, 125, 96. Yeah, the specifics don't matter so much, but they've been normal straight through.
Okay, excellent. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Any other questions?
No, you you guys are always very, very thorough, and because there's history of cancer in the family, I know that you have to do this for a reason. Makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, good luck with your colonoscopy too.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ruth. Thank you
All
very
right.
much for your time.
It's my pleasure. You have a good day now.
You as
Bye-bye.
well. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm back. It is, I got out here late, 5:15, and I just found out today is National Dog Day. I did not wish Ladybug a happy National Dog Day today. Shame on me. Bad dog mom that I am. Just to make you think how old you really are. 50 years ago today, Captain Tennille sang, "Love will keep us together." Yeah. And Jaws was the movie. What? I am I am old. I remember being a little girl and singing that song and going to see the movie. It's very nice outside. It is probably 75 degrees. I don't know, let's check the card. It's warm. Oh, 79. It's beautiful. Little cool in the office, but it's warmer than it was yesterday, so I guess I'm a tad bit overdressed for the day. So let's roll back the tape to what I was saying earlier about the sister. I'm sorry, this is bad view. It's the sun. There's nothing I can do. The sun's over there and I'm over here, and I just have so much time. So the sister granted me grace because I had to do the studying, and let's be frank, you guys know I have been MIA from the tube for a good month because of schooling. Now, I can only imagine what it's going to be like for Dustin and Amy, for example, doing their class for 6 months. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'll tell you guys, it was tough because you have to study and you want to be able to properly teach somebody. It's something, it's different than just saying to somebody, for example, oh, just eat a burger or have a piece of steak or a piece of salmon. No, we are not doctors, obviously, but people may come. This is my mindset. People may come to me based on looking at me. I would want to see a coach, based on what they look like, based on their story. Can I relate to them? I'm not going to relate to a muscle guy and telling him to eat a carnivore diet. I realize that full well, but I can relate to somebody that's been down the road like I have, eating Weight Watchers and the cabbage soup diet and Octavia and all the diets, the banana diet, all the shenanigans. We all know if you go on any one food diet, if you go on a comparative calorie to calorie thing, but one Oreo is only, I don't know how much an Oreo is because I'm not interested in it, but let's just round up numbers. Let's say one Oreo is 50 calories and one burger patty is 50 calories. It's not the same. And anybody that believes that, the people that look at the calories and think, I'm getting a little wound up, must be the coffee and the yerba mate tea talking to me. I get it. But I have been down that route before, eating the big Elaine from Seinfeld salads and watching my calories and just putting lemon juice on as opposed to filling the fat, satiating fat that a steak or a burger offers. I want to help people that can relate to me. I think pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. So, back to the sister. I really, really wish she would listen to me. It's so hard to be able to tell family members, close friends. We all know, those of us that have been in this way of eating space, we all know because we've been there. We have cried. We have sat in airplane seats and had to buy the extenders, or in my case, sat in an airplane seat where I stuck my ass into the other seat next to me because I was too big. I can hide weight pretty well. A lot of people will think that they can sneak around and hide food from themselves, but your body will let you know. I look forward to being able to eat again on Wednesday, but after my procedure, of course. But I'm not going to run and stop at a bakery and buy a cake. I'm going to fill my body up with the things that make my body feel good. Don't get me wrong, I feel fabulous today. Mind, spiritually, physically, I feel great. I'm ready to get this procedure over once and for all, forever and ever. And I'm able to talk more to the doctors tomorrow about it because I drive them crazy. The Google patient that I am ready for the fight. When they're going to come at me saying, we saw the possibility of this, that, and the other inside of you. I have to go gingerly around the Mayo system. When they ask when was the last time you ate, I'm going to be truthful. I ate Saturday at 11:30. That was the last meal I ate out of my system Saturday night at 11:30 at night. Oh, really? They always say, and you haven't eaten anything? Well, when did you take the colonoscopy prep? I'll let them know I started at 7 o'clock tonight. and I'll be clean and whistle right through that colonoscopy. But I'm not going to tell them I drank a half a gallon. I don't have any food inside of me. And the food that I did have inside of me, because I know my body with the fasting. Ooh, there's a fly in here. Get out of here. Because I know my body with the fasting. My body at day 3 eliminates stuff that I can't believe I have in my system 3 days after I last ate. Enough said. So there. Well, I'm going to close out this video. It's 15 minutes into my lunch hour, and I want to be able to pick up the phone, call the sister, let her know that I'm sorry that I seemed selfish the last couple weekends when I devoted my time to my studying and I couldn't see her. I'm looking forward to spending time with her this weekend, but I want to ease her mind. She's got a lot of pressure. She's an artist. She has people call on her, and people pay her to do pictures of their dogs, themselves, their houses, anything. She's an artist, so she's got that kind of responsibility to herself and her business. So I want to be able to tell her, I'm sorry. If you need the time, I understand. You've given me the time to study, and in kind, I want to do the same to you. I don't want to pressure you by thinking, oh, my sister Jerry's coming this weekend. I have to entertain her, blah, 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 and take away her time, talent, and treasure from her business. She has to do that. So that's my next phone call. Okay, guys, I'm going to close out this video. No, I won't. I'll see you at home. I'll see you later. Cheers for now. Hey, well, I know I told you that I would see you at home. That's what happens when you're not eating and you forget things. Or maybe it's because I am over caffeinated. I think it's the latter. I really do. So it's 7:02 and I am out of prison. I mean, I'm done with work. So many things have happened today between the Bill Gates fake butter and the screwworm and Kelsey and Taylor Swift getting engaged. I don't know if I can contain myself, even on National Dog Appreciation Day or National Dog Day. How exciting is this? So I am heading home. I can't wait to drink the juice. Yay! But I wanted to close out with the news that I forgot to tell you earlier. I am having Dr. Nelson interview me on Thursday morning before I go into work. It's part of the program. It's part of the curriculum. It's, for lack of a better word, it's a perk, I think. I am going to have him listen to the results from my test. I'll forward that to him via his personal mail. You guys will hear it. To me, I think it's over the majority of our heads, because this is not a channel that gives medical advice, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health professional, I'm not a carnivore coach yet. Ting! But that's going to be very exciting news. I'm looking forward to having a day off. I mean, despite the procedure, don't get me wrong. When I called over to Mayo Clinic and asked what the time was that I'm due to come into the clinic, they couldn't give me a time this morning at 10 o'clock. Apparently I'm not on the schedule, but it's probably in the portal, as they say, or on my voicemail at the house. So, ooh, yippee skippy. I'm so excited. I really feel fabulous. The headache. Like I said, the third day fasting for me, superhuman. I feel wonderful. It's something that I would like more people to experience, but you can't make people do fasting. And in my sister's case, for example, with her diagnosis, she says she can't fast. Many people feel they can't fast. They feel that they can't do without food. But how I break it down to people is, for example, I'll say, what time do you typically eat dinner? And they'll say 6 p.m. What time do you normally go to bed? Oh, I don't know, 9:30, 10-ish in that time frame. And what time do you normally wake up? Well, I'll wake up at 6 in the morning. So I say to them, very basic, you have gone without food from 6 p.m. You were done with your meal until 6 a.m. You've gone without food for 12 hours. So that's intermittent fasting. You can't do it by virtue of sleep. You're sleeping. I don't know of any people, probably zero people, that wake up in the middle of the night because they're hungry and they have to eat. I don't know what kind of people do that. Sleep eaters? Not sleepwalkers, sleep eaters? I don't know. I don't get hungry when I first wake up. I feel super satiated. In more instances, there's a Piper Cub flying super low. We have an airport here in Chautauqua, a very small airport, but it's flying super low. And if I have to turn the camera around and show it, I will. Now it's going higher in elevation, so I'll miss it. That distracted me. Squirrel moment. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the fasting aspect. A couple of the people at work, they were asking me if I had eaten yet, because I said, no, I'm not eating. On Monday, they asked, someone had a cake or something, and of course, everybody, to be polite, they say to me, hey, Jerry, there's some birthday cake. Do you want a piece? We'll save you a piece, whatever. No, thank you. I'm not eating right now. What? When was the last time you ate? Saturday. What? I would die. The weekends is when I eat. Pack it in. From morning until night. Well, so, back to the screwworm. I gotta talk about this because I brought it up to one of the guys at work, and he said, I never heard of that. And his mind went off like I did. All right, where is this screwworm coming from? Who invented this? Did Bill Gates invent this? Did it just so happen to correlate with the time he's inventing his fake butter that the screwworm comes into play? Well, apparently it's from South America coming up into Mexico. They found cases in Mexico. And talking to one of the girls in QA, who her and her daughter both are carnivore. Her husband's a rancher, by the way. She said that they found a case in Texas with the screwworm. I said, shut the front door. So again, my conspiracy theorist brain kicks in, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. I say that often to you. Okay, well, I'm going to end this part of the drive home video right now because I have to call my sister and hopefully talk to her one-on-one and not leave her a voicemail like I did earlier. I'll see you at home. It's so nice going home when it's light like this. I love it. Fabulous. It's glorious, just glorious. See you at home. Let the festivities begin. First glass of the half gallon. Down the hatch and over the gums. I put 6 packets of the Crystal Light lemonade in half of a gallon. Not bad. It doesn't taste as funky as it would have if I would have put that disgusting packet in there. I have to get upstairs later. Listen, I'm down 3 glasses so far. I decided to ditch the ice because even though this solution is ice cold, I'm actually diluting and drinking more liquid than I want to. So, I'm almost done. Almost. Then I get to put the video together. So, I'm going to call it a night. You guys know how this ends. I will see you tomorrow. Not sure if I'm going to be filming before or the visit going to. Why? Other than just because. So I'm going to close it out tonight. Do what I got to do. Get up early in the morning at 5 a.m. to be at Mayo in Bloomer, Wisconsin at 7:10. So wish me luck. Good night, everybody. Cheers for now.